YouTube, and I just put it on my Discord just now. So
okay, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. I mean, now that YouTube, my other YouTube channel has kind of blown up. Now I'm trying to focus on both of them, but I also have to put some content out there.
yeah.
So it's like now I really am busy. Like I put out some content for that channel like this week, and then after that I got busy, and now, unfortunately, I didn't have any time to publish anything on this channel. What I'm doing right now is that I'm doing the podcast, but I mean, obviously there is going to be future content in here in Nerdy Cabana. So, but as of right now, man, I'm just it's just crazy, and it's been a pretty bad week. Let me tell you that it's been a terrible week for me, man. When it comes to like personal life and everything, it's just been horrible. I'm pretty good at hiding it. I'm very good at hiding what's wrong with me and all that, but it's been bad. It's been a bad week. But anyways, everybody, thank you for those of you who are watching right now, who are basically, I can see somebody in the comment section by the name of Super Chris. Hey, Super Chris, thank you. I don't think I've ever seen you before, so you may be coming because of Andres. So, yep, you definitely want Andres.
Yeah. Chris is for my side of things. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, thank you for coming, Chris. And for those of you who, and he says, hey, Nerdy, hey, Andres, hey, Chris, thank you so much for coming. As I said, this is the Cabana Podcast. It's a podcast that we have here on a weekly basis in Nerdy Cabana, Tuesdays and Thursdays, except for last Thursday, because last Thursday I was so tired with the Nintendo Direct, I literally didn't sleep waiting on that Super Smash Brothers Nintendo Direct. I know that Andres told me the same thing. Well,
no one slept. I think a lot of people didn't sleep. It was the hype for that was crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of hype, dude. It was a lot of hype, and I felt tired, dude. I had people watching me, and I told them, hey, listen, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was just doing the podcast. Hey guys, how are you doing? And they told me, dude, you look like trash. I was like, okay, I do. I apologize. You know what, guys? I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'm not gonna upload this podcast because I would rather not upload something with low quality than upload something at all. So that's what I did. So last Thursday there was no podcast. It was horrible, but in my opinion, it was great. I mean, the Super Smash Brothers Nintendo Direct itself. What do you think? I mean, I've seen your videos. I kind of have some sort of idea of what you think, but I never really spoke to you about. We never messaged on what you felt about on the Direct. Like, how did you feel about the Nintendo Direct? Did you think it was good? Is it? I mean, definitely, we were expecting something different because I had come to your podcast and we were theorizing on other things to happen. But
we were so sold on the Grinch leak.
Yeah,
we were so sold on it. I had my doubts, right? Like I had my doubts because I kept on seeing all these different people who I knew had sources just straight up denying it, but it wasn't good enough for me because I didn't get a good explanation. And then we saw this mounting evidence. So for me, I had my doubts. Like I had my sneaking suspicion that something wasn't quite right, even though it seemed so convincing, right? And there was a history of leaks having for leaks like this, like the ESRB leak. We got the entire roster for Smash 4 on Wii U and 3DS was leaked all beforehand. So the idea that we would learn about the entire roster before the game came out made a whole bunch of sense to me. Like that happened before, right? History is a good indicator of what's going to happen in the future. But, based off what all these different people that were saying that had sources, I had my doubts, right? I actually made a video the day before talking about the possibility if this was a hoax, a planned hoax. Mainly it's just purely speculation. but also because I wanted to kind of raise doubt in other people's minds as well, because I knew we were all getting really, really excited about it, and I wanted to, help quell that hype and anticipation, because it could have been fake, and it was, and that was like one of the big things going into the direct. I knew once I saw the boxing ring, I was like, oh, this sounds really
Yeah.
That actual. Even that scene I heard spoken about several times within the different leaks over the months. So it was leaked. It just wasn't the exciting leak. It was the more boring leak that everyone hated. And that is what I think a lot of people kind of threw a lot of people off, like myself included. I didn't want to believe the Vergaben side of things, because all he kept on saying was we're going to get one more Echo and a Pokemon rep. Right. And like after getting King K. Rool and Ridley, like I kind of felt like the hype train was going. And I felt like a lot of people were sort of hoping for maybe things like along the lines of Geno or Banjo. But, that's not how it turned out. We got Incineroar and Ken. When I saw them, I thought they looked really, really good. I thought they looked really good. And I was actually really excited to see them. But there was a whole blowback as well. So for me, I have like different perspectives, right? Like just as a Nintendo fan, I was excited about it, right? But as the YouTuber, knowing that I had made some recent videos that a lot of people were really really into, like I started seeing it. Like I started seeing a lot of hate comments come in. And it's one thing you see one or two, right? But when you see hundreds and then hundreds more, and like it's at the level where there's no way you can keep up with it, and a lot of it is negative, that can get a little. It affects you, right? But so there was like the different perspectives, but just as for me personally, I like the direct. I don't think it was. I think the content was good, but I think the pacing of the direct could have been better. Like they spent like way too much time on spirits. Like that's the kind of thing I'd rather just learn when I'm playing the game. I didn't need to learn that now. So I feel like they could have held that off. I think maybe the way they revealed the characters could have been done better. I think maybe they should have saved Simon Belmont or King K. Rool for this direct or something, because it wasn't paced very well. But the content itself, I think, is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before I express my opinion about the Nintendo Direct, because of course I expressed it on a podcast that it was deleted because I just felt like trash. Let me read a quick comment that my boy Glade says, referring to your poster, to your Xenoblade poster in the back. He's saying that it looks pretty cool, the poster on your door. So, Glade, by the way, guys, I mean, I know that we have some of you guys right here that are coming from Andres Restart's channel, to try to check the podcast out. I really appreciate you guys doing. But for those of you who are going to watch the video later, or if you're just hopping in right now and you're not subscribed to Andres Restart, please go ahead and subscribe to him. He makes great content. Definitely one of the better, smaller YouTubers that I've come across. I've said it. I said that Coloco is definitely one of my favorite ones because his creativity and all of that. But when it comes to discussion and theories, Andres Restart really, really eats the cake. So you guys go ahead and check him out.
Now, yeah, especially if you're like me and you're a big proponent for Gumby and Smash Brothers, definitely check it out, because Gumby.
Yeah.
I'm kidding about Gumby. But his horse, though, no, I'm still kidding. But yeah, I appreciate if you guys checked it out. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and also, Glade, thanks. When I got this on Amazon, I just thought it was like, it's just like the best shirt. It's the best poster. I love it.
Okay, so you got it on Amazon. It's a pretty cool poster. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I like a lot of the posters you have right there. Unfortunately, I don't have enough wall in order for me to put a lot of posters. I just got Wonder Woman right here. Well, you know what? I could put something right here, but nobody in the comment section would be able to see that. But regarding the Super Smash Brothers Direct, I don't think it was I don't think it was a bad Direct. But
I don't think it was bad, but I don't think it was masterful.
No. I mean, I feel that to say that this was the greatest Super Smash Brothers Direct is an exaggeration.
The King K. Rool Direct was really good.
Yeah, that one was. Oh, trust me.
Yeah.
for me, dude, that was the best direct ever. I mean,
Yeah. I still sometimes watch that King K. Rool trailer and I get goosebumps. Like
I'm still watching. There are two things in YouTube, dude, that I keep rewatching, and that is the Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild trailer, the story trailer,
best trailer ever.
Yep, and then the King K. Rool trailer. I cannot get over those two trailers, dude. Those are like my favorite two trailers of all time.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I feel like if you were to separate the Smash portion of the E3 Direct, it was also really, really good. But it was put into the E3 Direct with everything else, which is a little disappointing. So it's kind of I feel like the disappointment from Nintendo's E3 sort of lowered the hype for what otherwise would have been an amazing Smash Direct, right? So the only direct that hasn't had anything that's kind of like taken away from it has been the King K. Rool direct. Like that was just like the ideal Smash Bros. Experience in terms of them giving us the goods. And I mean like you just said, it was amazing. So
yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it, dude. Like I told Coloco on last episode that when I saw that when they first teased K. Rool and it just turned out to be DDD dressed up as K. Rool. I literally teared. I teared. I was like, oh no, Nintendo, why are you doing this? And oh my! But when I really saw that he came out of like DDD's back and he just slashed him, dude, I was just the happiest man ever, dude. The happiest man ever. Seriously, it was awesome. But regarding this Nintendo Direct, I don't think it was the best Direct the best Super Smash Bros. Direct out there. But I will say, my reactions at first when I saw Little Mac fighting with Ken, I said, "Oh, so Ken is a thing." So I've talked about him, and for those of you who are in the comment section, let me just get this out of the way. We over here in Nerdy Cabana and Nintendo Game Talk, which is the other my other partner in crime, Coloco. We are doing We're doing a joint giveaway that is sponsored by one of our followers on Twitter. His name is The Collectionist. You guys should go ahead and check him out. Check out Coloco as well at Nintendo Game Talk, and of course, you're here, so you're probably watching right now. But what I'm trying to say is that we're doing a Super Smash Brothers code giveaway. So check those guys out, follow them on Twitter, and subscribe to the channel. The Collectionist doesn't have a channel, but you can go ahead and follow him on Twitter. But the Collectionist, the reason why I'm mentioning him right now, besides the fact that we're doing a Smash Brothers giveaway, is that he told me, I remember he messaged me and he told me, hey, so out of those characters, which one do you think it's gonna become a reality out of the Grinch League characters that were listed down? And I was like, I don't know. You're always the one with the cryptic messages. And I asked, and he told me, he asked me, but just guess. I was like, I don't know, dude. And he was like, well, I'll tell you that Ken is definitely gonna be there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. What about?
I would have given you $100 to say Ken was in though. Like I think everyone and their mother was predicting Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was an image leak that was pretty damn good, and as it turns out, it was real. Straight up this image of Ken like this.
I remember that leak.
Yeah.
But for all I knew, I mean, here's the thing. I did think that Ken was gonna make it at some point. But I don't know if to believe that leak, because it could have turned out to be like the Palutena leak. You remember that on?
I remember. Yeah. I at least remember people speaking of it. That it was a leak that was fake, but it turned out the Palutena was in the game anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that it could have been something like that.
Yeah.
So but I was
deal, actually. when I made a video on it and analyzing it, I felt like there was some really weird things about it. And I ended up, my conclusion for that video was 60-40 fake, right? Even though it's a really, really good leak. And I still believe that regardless, Ken was going to be in it anyway, right? And I think some people were mad because they interpreted that as me saying that Ken was not going to be in the game, even though several times it said, I believe Ken's going to be in the game. But in terms of this image, there's some things about it that I think are a little weird. But, you know, still, it's kind of an interesting thing, right? Like, where you can talk about leaks and you may agree with that the leak is real or not, but it doesn't change what you think will be in the game. Like, they're two different things, technically, you know? But
yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. But here's the thing: when it comes to the actual direct, like I said, when I saw Incineroar, I was like, oh my God, no, because I was one of those people. I was in Team Yes when it comes to like the Grinch League. I was one of the ones. Heck, even in a podcast that I had my another guest I had, Justin, me and him talk about the Grinch League throughout the whole podcast because I was a supporter of that Grinch League. I thought it was going to be real. Even when I went to your podcast, I said, I think it's real. I said it a bunch of times. But see,
most people thought it was real. Like, I saw there were so many different polls on so many different places. I put a poll on my own. Actually, I think I have my community tab open now. I don't know if people went back to it. Let me see if you went back to this poll. Okay, so I had a poll. All right. And can I do a screen share? Is that an option for me?
I mean, I'm using like Google, like cheap Google.
It's fine.
Google Hangouts. Or maybe you could do it.
That's okay. It's okay. It should still work. You should be able to see my screen here, I think. Right. And yeah, so like 215 votes, right? And over 61%, and some people may have come back retroactively and changed their vote, but at least 61% said it was real, 31% were 50-50 on it, and only 8% said it was an elaborate hoax. So a lot of people thought that this leak was real. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stop screen sharing now, but how do I stop? Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, most people thought this was real. And the thing is, I felt like a lot of people who didn't think it was real didn't offer up a good reason as to why it wasn't real. But I'll say this, now in hindsight, I feel like a big part of why I was more on real when I should have been maybe team neutral was because of confirmation bias. So there is a lot of situations where, like, when you look at the background, there were visual discrepancies. When I analyzed the image close up, I saw some visual discrepancies. But because I wanted it to be real, I did. It's not that I ignored those other details, but I didn't give them as much weight, and I should have.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But you know, I was on the same boat. I myself, there was something inside of me saying, this is too good to be true. But at the same time, I just didn't want it to be fake. You know, I really wanted it to be real. Now, I've stated a lot of times that K. Rool was in the game. I don't care what other character comes in. But, you know, it was something about that leak that it would still make me very happy. And that's why when I had people like the collectionists tell me, I mean, I can tell you that the only character that's going to be there is Ken, but everybody else, don't hype yourself too much for it. I didn't pay any mind because I don't know. I'm just the type of person that it's just like, I have to see to believe. So I just wanted to experience the moment and see what was going to happen. So, yeah, when I saw Incineroar, I went, oh no, it's fake, you know, because a lot of other YouTubers, as we've discussed before, were saying, well, this leak is false because Incineroar is not in it, is not listed in this leak.
But you know what was actually the real kicker for me? It wasn't the fact that it was fake, because I already going in, I was already having my doubts, right? And I was prepared for it to be fake. And I pretty much knew it was fake once I saw the boxing ring. But when he said, "This is the final challenger," that pierced me. It's like,
yes.
If it wasn't, here's the thing, like, even if you didn't believe the leak, right, and even if you believe the Bergman stuff, which turned out to be 100% true, he never said that what he was saying were the last characters. So, most people were predicting that we would at least get 4 or 5 more characters. We only got 2, right?
Yeah.
It's excluding DLC. So, I think they kind of, even though Sakurai on twice did try to quell our expectations, I think people were disappointed because we all thought there'd be more characters.
Yeah.
Even the people who were on Team Fake, they still thought there'd be more characters. Only 2 in the base roster. From that point, I think that was unexpected. But let's not talk about DLC, because I think the DLC, that's a whole other conversation, right? But I just kind of looked at the numbers, right? I think if you think about it, we've got it's kind of hard to like remember everything, but we got Daisy, King K. Rool, Simon Belmont, Richter, Crom, Dark Samus, Isabel, King K. Rool. Damn it! I think there's like wait. There's 4. I think it's 5 newcomers and 4 echoes, if I got it right. Okay, so King K. Rool, Ridley, Simon Belmont, Isabel, Incineroar. Okay, and then the echoes being Daisy, Crom, Dark Samus, Richter, and Ken. So is that 10? My math's off.
No, I think you're right though. I think you're right. I think you got everybody.
Okay, I think so. Did I? Man, I just feel like I'm missing something. But but anyways, so we got that, right? But we also got a whole bunch of returning characters that weren't in Smash 4, such as Wolf, Young Link, Pichu, who else? Snake, and I think there's one more that we got returned. Oh, we also got Squirtle and Ivysaur, right? So when you there's probably 1 or 2 more characters that I'm missing that I just can't remember from the top of my head. But if you think about the returning characters, the echoes, and the newcomers, it is somewhere between 16 and 18 characters that we're getting on top of Smash for Wii U and 3DS, and that's also including the DLC. So it isn't really like there aren't too many characters. There is a lot of characters, but we still thought they would add a couple more, and it's just kind of weird how that all came to be. But it doesn't really change anything, because I think the roster is amazing. I think the modes are amazing. I think the game looks amazing. But I think everyone in general was a little disappointed by the amount of characters added.
Now that you mentioned that, it's true. When I saw that Sakurai said that these are the last 2 fighters, I was like, oh my god! I did react. That I'm wondering, like, I should have been. You know what? I was just so pissed that day because I was trying to do a live reaction to the whole presentation, but it didn't happen for technical issues. I should have watched your stream, but I just said, I'm just gonna watch the direct by myself with my brother next to me. Blah blah blah. Did you really react? Did you really? Maybe I should just go and check it out. Were you really surprised when he said that? Were you like, oh crap?
I mean, like, it wasn't a surprise. I was just like, I probably asked the question. It's like, wait, did he just say that was the last 2? That was it? That was the last challenger? I probably brought up that question, but I didn't like freak out or anything. It was a little bit of it was a minor damper, a minor one, not like huge, but it was a little bit of a damper.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, the direct was good. I think the other thing, here's the thing, it wasn't just a characters thing. I was also hoping to maybe see break the targets or home run contest. I didn't see that. I was hoping to see some, and the spirits thing was kind of, it's not that it was boring, it's just that the way it was shown wasn't good for the direct, and they didn't show us the single player mode until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hype. That was really hype. So that was really cool. The other thing that is kind of questionable is that I really wanted Rex and Pyra. and I'm hoping that they could be DLC. But the way that he shared the Mii costume and the music and the spirits, it seems to me like he's playing down that, so I shouldn't expect Rex and Pyra anymore. So that's one thing to kind of like lower my expectations a little bit. Didn't get me as excited. The Piranha Plant thing, I heard Shifty talk about it the day before. So I was like, oh, he was right.
Yeah, Shifty, believe it or not, Shifty is a small guy, but he's pretty legit in a lot of things. I checked out a lot of his leaks.
He's got some legit sources that are telling him things that even the bigger people aren't talking about. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a really cool character. I think Piranha Plant's really unique. I think it's getting hate because people had certain expectations and they're not getting what they want. But Piranha Plant is honestly a really unique character, dude. And I think it's really, really cool.
I don't hate Piranha Plant. I just never thought I would see it. You know, it's just one of those characters that I just thought, why would it be in Super Smash Brothers? But after seeing everything and calming down a little bit, I noticed that, I mean, he's a very unique character. You know, it really felt like at some point of the direct that Sakurai was just slapping the faces of everybody who believed that the Grinch League was real. And that started when he started showing like the assist trophies.
Yeah.
He showed Shadow, boom. Then he showed Isaac, boom. I was like, oh, this is just literally feeling like he's slapping my face right now. Like he's not gonna be a character.
I think that was also a bad move. I think they should have showed Shadow and Isaac way before, because they know who we want, right? Yeah. They know. That's why they do the polls. They should have revealed them earlier. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, like it's one thing if you don't share like the Spring Man, right? Because I think most people understood that Spring Man, if he was going to be a fighter, he would be DLC anyway, right? No one was thinking that, oh, Spring Man, because he hasn't been shown off as an assist yet, he's not in the game. But not showing off Isaac, not showing off Shadow, I think they should have shown those off earlier, because like a lot more people were thinking that they were going to be characters, and they weren't, right? So I just feel like that was a bad play. From a marketing sort of presentation standpoint. The same thing with the Spirit. I think, I think they need someone better in like their presentation team that kind of organizes how they share the information, because they've made some bad moves. Like they have obviously they have really good content. The cutscenes are amazing, but whoever is organizing the actual information shared in the directs, I think is not doing a good job. But because the thing is, if they shared the information correctly, there would be so much more hype for this game than there already is an obscene amount of hype, but there would be less hate on the internet. There would be just more praise. And it has nothing to do with the content of the game. It's solely with how the information was shared. Like I think Sakurai would have done a better job by even perhaps saying, this is how many characters I'm going to add in the game. Like if you tell us how many you're going to add, you're not telling us who, so there's still that surprise factor. We can still sort of speculate about who's it going to be, but if you don't tell us the number, we're gonna always hope for more. We're always gonna hope for more, and we're always gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So do you think that the spirits mode is something that you see yourself playing a whole lot, or is something that you're probably going to grab for a couple minutes, maybe a couple hours, and then just never play it again? Because it looks interesting to me, but I have to admit this. When I saw it on the direct when they showed it off on the direct, I didn't understand what they were trying to explain. Like I understood that it was just some spirits that, I guess reflected on the characters in a certain way. And, characters would not gain abilities, but,
No, actually kind of gain abilities. It changes their stats.
Yeah, that's right. It changes their stats and all that. Do you really think you are going to be playing this mode a whole lot, or do you see yourself playing it for a little bit and never touch it again?
I think part of the problem is that the messaging was really bad, because it's not the way Sakurai actually. Yeah, I even have problems with the way Sakurai explains some things, but I'll talk about that later. From what I understand, World of Light, the single player mode that showed up at the end, is spirits. Okay, because we've seen when they go into the menu, go into spirits. The big icon is World of Light, and then there's a couple other icons that help you sort of like manipulate and maneuver the spirits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but from what they showed, it looks like when you engage with the spirits, almost like a different form of. You remember an event match where like. So it's like whenever you do a battle with a spirit, it's kind of like a different scenario with a different kind of character from a different universe, kind of like an event match. So it seems like we're going to have a whole bunch of event matches, and each character is going to be changed up in some way to reflect the spirit. And you can collect these spirits. And I can see like actually getting really addicting. But what really kind of sells me on it, and it didn't sell me on it at first because they presented it very poorly, is that these spirits are tied into the single-player experience. So it's almost like adding an RPG mechanic into the single-player mode for Smash Brothers. And that's really cool, actually. So I'm actually really excited about it. At the same time, you know, I can see myself also getting turned off by it if it's just kind of repetitive or if it's just too much random crap. Like, so I do think I should probably say that I don't know how much I'm going to love it until I actually get my hands on it and play it. But I'm really, from what I've seen, I'm actually really feeling it. I think that the way it's being presented, it seems like it's going to really complement the game.
Mm-hmm.
And more reason to play more modes, to collect more. It's going to give me incentive to really dig into the game. And I think it seems like it's actually a really smart move. I think people are just confused because the messaging for it was really bad.
Yeah. Did they is this going to replace the events mode that we had in previous games?
From what I've seen, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
because
that's the other thing.
They seem kind of similar in a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, it doesn't look like there's a normal events mode, and that's it. But at the same time, you know, we're assuming that we've seen everything. We might unlock modes. We don't know,
That's
right?
right.
Like, I'm assuming there's no target break or home run contest, and I'm gonna I think there probably isn't, but we don't know that for sure. There might be a couple of things that we have no clue about that are going to be unlocked or seen when we get the game. And no, I don't mean characters because Sakurai said there wouldn't be any characters. So if you're hoping for hidden characters in the game, even though the creators said there wouldn't be any, you're setting yourself up for a disappointment. But I think there's going to be some surprises. But I think it's going to probably be more like just figuring out like little details about the characters, seeing the cutscenes in story mode and stuff like that. I got to tell you, though, I think I am a little disappointed that there's no target break or home run contest. I actually really like those modes. I thought they added a lot of variety to the game. And I didn't like Smash Wii U. What they did with the mini games. I didn't like the Angry Birds version of Target Break. So I was hoping that they would, you know, bring it back. And it doesn't look like they have. At the same time, it looks like they've really overhauled Classic Mode, though. And that's really cool. Have you heard about it?
I haven't heard about it. Honestly, after the Super Smash Brothers Direct happened, I haven't been keeping up with the information, mainly because of life. What's going on outside of YouTube, or anything like that. So, what are they talking about in regards to that?
With Classic Mode, basically every Classic Mode has like a different name for every character, and it's kind of like a different experience. So apparently, like for example, if you pick Ryu, you know, Ryu from Street Fighter, his Classic Mode, every single stage is a Final Destination stage. So it's all flat, just like from Street Fighter, and everyone has stamina. So, you know, HP.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like they changed the rules and structure to sort of fit every kind of player's like sort of history and legacy. So every classic mode is actually going to feel pretty different for each particular character, and the actual characters they face are also going to make sense as well. So I actually think it's really cool what they're doing with that. It still bothers me a little bit that there's no target break or board the platforms, but oh well. Overall, I think it's still really interesting for classic mode. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there is a possibility that we may still get those modes. Just because they were not in the Nintendo Direct, that doesn't really mean anything.
Well, it's not even just the fact that they weren't in the Nintendo Direct. I was hoping they would be in the Games and More section, and we've seen the Games and More section, and from what I've seen, they are not in it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been.
Maybe it's still there somewhere, right? There are so many different modes and icons, but I feel like at this point we would have seen it. They kind of shared a lot of information about the game already. So unless it's like a hidden thing that you unlock, it doesn't look like it's in the game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was a great mode. I didn't play much of it.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say, I guess I'll just go play Smash 64 and Melee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I still play Melee every once in a while. I mean, it's a great game still, and I feel like it's been able to hold up pretty well throughout the years. You know, I don't think that there have been like huge jumps in between Super Smash Brothers games, because like the biggest jump we've gotten is from 64 to Melee, then Melee to Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Characters changed a little, like the texture of their clothing. Like Mario, you can actually see that he's wearing like jeans, jumpsuit, and all that. And then between Super Smash Brothers Brawl and Super Smash Brothers Wii U, honestly, all you see is the HD on it. And this game does look very good though. Like there's a lot of characters that look so crisp and nice. I think it's a great game. It's unfortunate that when this game was revealed, I was able to notice the difference between characters from Super Smash Brothers Wii U and Ultimate, and there were some content creators out there just saying, "Oh, this is just a port. It's just a port." I remember I called them out, and then they deleted their tweet. And this is not a port, dude.
I made a video on it actually. Yeah, there were still people saying it was a port even when I made that video, and I put like images comparing the stages, the same stage from one game to another, and it was like, you know, like you've seen the changes, like it's significant. But you know, there's some people that are gonna believe whatever they want. But I mean, yeah, it's obviously not a port. But yeah. I'll tell you that I think Smash for Wii U and 3DS is my least favorite Smash Brothers, and I think the problem is because they made two different Smash Bros. Games, so they kind of split up the resources for that. Because I didn't buy a 3DS version, actually. I only bought the Wii U version, and apparently the 3DS version had a lot of stages that I kind of missed on the Wii U version, right? The 3DS had them, and had a lot of new stages as well. The 3DS had a Smash Run, which apparently was really good, and Smash Tour on the Wii U sucked. Apparently the 3DS version also had an actual normal classic mode, and the Wii U version didn't, and it sucked. So I got the Wii U version, and it just basically sucked, and online wasn't very good, and the 20 mode, which came out after the game came out months later, was not the 20 mode that I enjoyed back on Brawl or Melee, so it also sucked.
Man.
It sounds like I'm really hating on Smash for Wii U.
Yeah, it sounds like you
kind of am. I really enjoyed the fighting engine. I really enjoyed the graphics, but there was a lot of things that I was kind of missing in Smash for Wii U, and a lot of it was on the 3DS version. So, you know, I just don't think
there's a lot of there. I own both. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the Wii U version of it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I feel like there's a lot of stages in the Nintendo 3DS version of it that I enjoy more.
Yeah.
One of those stages I can think of is the Earthbound stage. I thought it was much cooler than the 3DS.
So, and that's the thing, like Smash Ultimate, we're gonna get all those stages in one. So because I never got the 3DS version, I didn't get all the DLC for Smash for Wii U. I skipped out on Bayonetta and Corrin because I was assuming that there would be another Smash coming out with a Nintendo system. It took 3 years, but here we are. So there's some DLC I haven't gotten, the 3DS content, and then of course all the returning content, and then obviously the additional new content they're adding for Smash Ultimate. So I think it's going to be a pretty good package for me because there's a lot I haven't experienced before. And all of it's been remastered or redone to be amazing.
You're getting the best version of them.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah.
Magic Cat actually, Super Chris brought up in the chat. Like that's a stage that I never gave a shot because it was on the 3DS version. So I'm gonna give it a try now, and I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking amazing. That Earthbound stage that I talked to you about, it looks so sweet, man. In HD, the way it looks. Another one that I really liked on the 3DS was the Kid Icarus stage in there. I thought that one was pretty good.
And
Man, there was a lot of content I enjoyed. I think any of you that own the 3DS version of it in the chat can correct me. I don't remember very well, but I do think that in the 3DS version they made you unlock every single character as well. If I'm not mistaken,
that was the other thing that bothered me about the Wii U version.
Yeah, they gave you all the characters right there when you purchase the game.
There's like no reason to play it.
unless you play it online, but the online wasn't very
I didn't like it online and I had no friends.
Man, I'm telling you. I played it a lot, but I mean,
I still play it, man. I still probably have a few hundred hours on Smash for Wii U. Like for all the smack talk I've given it these last few minutes, like I still played it a lot. But it's still my least favorite Smash Brothers.
and it just I don't know. I will say this, and this may be an unpopular opinion, I don't know, but I feel like I enjoyed more the 3DS version of it than the Wii U version of it.
I think
the 3DS version of it.
I agree with you.
What was that?
I think most people would agree with you.
Yeah, I enjoyed the 3DS version much more than I enjoyed the Wii U version of it. The Wii U version of it looked prettier, but I mean, I think it was more fun to play the 3DS version. You got to unlock the characters because they didn't give you every single character. I don't know. I had a much better experience online with the 3DS. I'm not sure why. The stages, there were so many things to the 3DS that I enjoyed so much more than the Wii U version. But I still love Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. I just didn't play it as much as the 3DS version of it. I don't know. But this one, but Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is looking amazing. Even after watching that direct, I really, 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 really loved it. I'm going to be making a video. It's not going to be related. Well, it kind of is, but it kind of is not. Talking about people and how to prepare themselves when they get on the hype train. Because like I said, I believe the Grinch leak. I thought it was true. It was real. But
I do think it's real, by the way.
What was that?
I think it's real.
Yeah.
No, let me explain. What I mean is that I think, remember how I mentioned earlier how I made a video? I don't know if you got to see that particular video, but the video I made the day before the Smash Direct, the video talking about how speculating, it was just speculation at the time if the Grinch League was a planned hoax. But after it came out, and after looking over all the evidence, I feel like it was a strategy. Okay, maybe not for sure, but at the time, I just thought it was a small possibility. Now I think somewhat likely that maybe Illumination, or is it ACPLV? I think it's ACPLV had some sort of plan to maybe get a leak going, a fake leak going to bolster awareness for the Grinch movie. Because it did. Every freaking Smash Bros. Video I've seen for the last few weeks is all Grinch, right? Everyone's been talking about Grinch, the Grinch movie. And if you think about it, like, because the thing is, based on everything we've seen, it does seem like there was something going on within that company. Maybe it wasn't a planned hoax, but at least someone within that company did do something, because there was a name that was sourced to that company that was working there currently. They decided not to make a business statement. They put out no press release, nothing about it. But a company that had the guy working with them 2 years ago felt the need to do it. So it's not like, there's the company that didn't even have him anymore made a statement, right? Trying to rid themselves of any potential guilt. But a company that did have him didn't. Kind of weird to me, right? And on top of that, there was a video that had been out for 2 years from a bank that worked with ACP PLV that had information that lined up with those photos, and the video was taken down. Why? So I'm not saying that ACP PLV or Illumination, the studio behind the Grinch movie, intentionally created this fake leak to stir up more controversy and get the Grinch movie noticed. But I'm saying it's possible. But I think for 100%, someone within that printing studio did create that fake leak. Someone there did, whether it was planned by management or not, I don't know. But it was 100%. It happened within there, but it was fake. And I think that's the thing. I think because we wanted to be real, and because we had proof that they definitely didn't want, they were hiding it, that it was within this company, that it seemed believable. But when you look at the actual visual material, there were several visual discrepancies that didn't add up, and we had to come up with reasons, and they might have worked, like, oh, it's a display light box sort of thing. We have to change around the imagery and stuff like that. Maybe, but at the same time, you think about it, if Nintendo was actually working with them, wouldn't they have just given them the actual PNG files? So they wouldn't have to deal with remaking stuff and all that. So, I think we used our confirmation bias kind of got in the way, and we sort of downplayed those visual discrepancies. But yeah, that's what I mean by it being real anyways. Just to kind of, I know I went on a tangent there, but just that something.
No, I completely get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But like a lot of people legitimately thought that, that we were gonna see all those characters in this direct, and the backlash that a lot of people, the anger that a lot of people had was completely ridiculous. I mean, I've seen people go into other people's channels and just complain about this. I've seen people complain on Twitter. I've seen people complain absolutely everywhere. And it's crazy because, I don't want to judge like the Smash community as a whole, but like certain members of the Super Smash Brothers community, what are they thinking? When they talk about these leaks, when they spread out these rumors and stuff, isn't it smarter just to take everything with a grain of salt? Like, for example, in your case, right? You were making videos, dude. You were like on it the whole time. You were releasing videos on a daily basis. I kept getting notifications on my phone. Andres Restart just uploaded a video. I'm like, wait, hold on. I gotta check it out. But it got to a point where you just kept uploading videos, and I'm saying, wait, hold on. He's really uploading videos at a time that I can't watch him. Hold on. And let me tell you, man, but a lot of those videos you made were discussing like the Grinch leak and how you thought they were real. But then once the direct happened, I mean, a lot of people just came out and started being disappointed at it. And I've seen other YouTubers, you and I have spoken about it, but I've actually seen other YouTubers getting crap over just theorizing the Grinch. Like,
I mean, I think, here's the thing. I think, like, even within my own videos, I try to say, look, take this with a grain of salt. This could be fake, right?
Yeah.
And I think people don't always take that to heart. They take it for granted when people say that. You say it for a reason, because you don't want people to get too excited, to expect too much, and then be very disappointed. But, people still do. That still happens to people. And I think the bigger issue isn't even the YouTubers themselves that talked about it, is just how bad people are feeling about it, that they need a scapegoat. So they're going to attack the people who are at the forefront, right? The people who, I guess, are the middleman in this whole scenario, the YouTubers who are talking about it, right? So that's why a lot of YouTubers are getting hate, simply because a lot of people are disappointed. So they're going to hate on somebody.
Yeah, but see, like...
Right, but that's just what people do.
Yeah, I get it, but I feel like at the same time, it's like, what Nintendo Direct, I was really disappointed. I was really disappointed at, not at Nintendo Direct, but I was very disappointed at E3 what was you remember the E3 where they revealed, not when they revealed the Wii U, but when they ended up like E3 with Nintendo Land? You remember that?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I was well, I wasn't the only one. A lot of people
No.
were very disappointed. There
No.
were lots of people speculating, and other YouTubers talking about the possibility of getting huge games
We
in.
kept on saying it's just a calm before the storm.
Yeah.
It's just a calm before the storm, and then it's quiet now. Just you wait. They're working on stuff, and I think they were. It just took them like 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate. I think Nintendo got so complacent during the Wii era, right? They were running on old ass hardware. So, and because they made so much money, they never felt the need to really rush into things. And once they realized that, oh, we have to move on, it was a little too late. And all of their development studios are way behind in technology. So there was a huge like process for them to really adapt. So the entire Wii U generation, in my opinion, was them moving into the future.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like it was bad. Like I think all of the games that came out needed to come out a year earlier. Like Skyward Sword, even on the Wii, it came out a year too late, in my opinion. The Wii was dead in 2011. It should have come out in 2010. Skyward.
I remember. I had my Wii. My Wii was already in the closet, dude. It was taking dust from everywhere. So when Skyward Sword came out, I got the collector's edition with the
I got Skyward Sword, obviously.
Yeah. Dude, I like literally grabbed my Wii and I went.
Look, give me a second. How the controller?
Yeah, let me see it. Let me see it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me see that controller.
I still have the Skyward Sword controller right here.
I have that one. Yep.
Yeah, I put the white lid on it because it looks better that way.
Yeah.
But I think as far as Wii remote controllers go, this one is the best, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because that one has the Wii Motion Plus integrated, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that definitely was the best controller, which is something, in my opinion, that Nintendo should have done from the beginning, honestly. But then they started making like the Wii Motion Plus accessory and selling it separate. But anyways, I remember I got that game, Skyward Sword, and I took my Wii out of the closet and I just went I just blew on it because just to get all that dust out of there, man. Because that thing, I played the Wii just for a little bit and then I just put it in the closet. And then it just started taking dust. But when it comes to the Wii U, going back to what I was saying, people were speculating a whole lot about that E3, I remember. And I saw that E3 and I was very disappointed. But I didn't go out and commented, "You piece of crap! You said we were going to see so-and-so game. What happened? You are trash, blah, blah, blah." You know, it's you know.
I think people get really invested.
What was that?
I think people get really invested.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
I think the thing is that I think for a lot of us, we're so into this entire gaming community, right, across all the different message boards and forums and YouTube and IGN and GameSpot everywhere, especially if you go back then, it was more about the websites as opposed to just YouTube. But you know how it's transitioned. But the point is that like a lot of us spend most of our day-to-day living interacting on the internet. So some people, a big part of their life is the gaming community, right? Like in there on the internet. So when we see shit like this, right, some of us are so into it that they don't know how to express themselves, and they go. Well, I don't want to say they don't know how, because maybe for some people they think it's the right way to do it, just to go ham. I don't, I don't think it's right, because you shouldn't mistreat people. But I that's kind of like my reasoning, the logic behind it. I think that people are just so invested, and when it's kind of like a big part of your world, I guess I can see how people can do that. I've never done that. I've never gone out and attack someone or start talking like shit, right, about Nintendo, because like, oh, they suck, blah blah blah, this or that. For me, I'm just kind of like, okay, that sucked, but this could still happen. I think I always kind of like I take the negative, but I also look at the positive too.
The only time that I criticize another YouTuber is like when they are not, like, if I'm going to attack a YouTuber for a prediction, it's not because they are not. It's not when they're theorizing about over anything. It's just when they pretty much tell you this is going to happen. Because there's been other content creators out there that have said, hey, this is going to happen. Just wait for it.
That's an interesting point, actually, because that's a really interesting point. Because the thing is, like, I think about me, right? I think about what I would do if I saw someone theorize about something. I would never go back and say, ha ha, you were wrong. Ha ha, you're an idiot. I would never do that, because it's speculation, right? But at the same time, there are some people that do state things as fact. They lie to you. They give you false information and do make no effort to correct it. I still don't go back and talk shit to those people. I just ignore them, right? But they're the people that bother me. It isn't the people who speculate. It's the people who lie, right? Those are the people that bother me.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of people like that, man. There's a lot of people like that. That there's a lot of people like that on the internet, on Twitter, man. And let me tell you, man, it's crazy. Let's get to the comment section, man, because I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta say, I had Coloco last Tuesday and it was pretty fun, but I'm having a lot of fun with you too. So I'm getting way distracted over here. So
Vilbeer's here, Jugs, Cloudy Mind Gaming just came in.
Cloudy Mind Gaming, that's one of my guys for sure. And Jugs McGee, I don't know if he's one of your guys, but I know that he's always here supporting as well. Jugs McGee, Cloudy Mind Gaming, if you have not subscribed to Andre Restart, go ahead and do so, because the guy knows his stuff. He knows how to. He's been on YouTube for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
You've been on YouTube. He's been on YouTube for 2 years, and I have to tell you that when it comes to discussions, theories, reviews, and even gameplays, this guy is the way to go, man. This guy is the way to go.
See me cry.
I mean, I'm just being honest, bro.
No, on Halloween when I streamed Dark Souls, I was really upset.
What? Were you upset? Really? What happened?
Because I got my ass kicked.
But man, you don't have to get upset. Listen, 99.9% of the people get their ass kicked in Dark Souls. So.
Yeah, but when you lose all the souls you're collecting and the humanity, it can bother you, bro.
Yeah, but you know what, man? One of the most important things when it comes to YouTube and all this is, the humbleness. Andre Restart, guys, is a humble guy. So if you have not subscribed to him, go and check him out. He's awesome. He's cool. He does great gameplay. He interacts a lot with his community, which is very respectable considering the fact that other YouTubers don't even do that, dude. Other YouTubers, they just do live streams and they just stay there. They receive a donation and they're like, oh, so-and-so donated. Haha, thank you. But Andre's Restart, man, when it comes to those type of things, check him out. But it's a lot of comments, guys. I'm not gonna go to each and every single one. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through the last couple ones because, man, we've been talking for a while now, and you guys have written a whole lot of comments. So right here it says private information. Wii U did have some awesome games though. I already answered that in the comment section, but I will say it now in camera. Yes, private information. Wii U did have a lot of great games. Luckily, a lot of those games are being ported to the Nintendo Switch. One of the main ones that comes to my head that I've been asking ever since the Nintendo Switch was released was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I love the heck out of that game. I never got to try it on the Wii U, but I finally got it to the Nintendo Switch, and my God, I spent so much time on that game. I finished it 100%. I'm a Donkey Kong fan, dude. I'm a Donkey Kong fan, and let me tell you, I love the heck out of that game.
I'm a big fan of 100% Nintendo platformers.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you when you buy games, do you usually play them, finish them, or do you usually like to finish them 100%?
It's kind of changed throughout the course of my lifetime. Ideally, I want to finish a game. Like right now, I'm working on Dark Souls, and I'm actually getting better at it. By the way, I just discovered how to do pyromancy, so now I'm actually have like a range attack along with my big two-handed sword. But so I want to beat that before I pick up Pokemon Let's Go in next week, right? But before Dark Souls, what was I playing? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what I was playing, but I think for the most part, yeah. Now I do pretty much. I at least beat the main campaign for every game I get. Occasionally I don't. I'm trying to think. On Switch though, I didn't beat. No, I beat Shovel Knight. Well, Shovel Knight has 3 campaigns. I only beat 2 of them. So I guess for one of the DLC packs, I haven't beaten that. I beat Celeste. No, I pretty much, yeah, for the most part, I think I almost always beat at least the main campaign from every game I get. So
yeah, I feel like every time I get a game, I feel like I have to finish. Even if I don't finish it 100%, that's fine. But at least the main campaign, because I have to make my money's worth. I feel that's
right.
But yeah, man. Let's see what else we got.
For Mario games, though, I almost always go for 100%.
I finished Mario Odyssey 100%. Although I have not gotten back to the game to like get those. What was the name of the rabbits costumes? I haven't gotten those.
Oh, I haven't gotten all of the DLC. They've added like new costumes. I haven't picked up all the new costumes that they've added with DLC. Yeah. But besides that, I got all the moons. I've played the Luigi DLC extensively already. Yeah,
that's so fun though. Like when Nintendo revealed that mode, I was like, I don't know, but it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, actually, Vilbeard's asking about the getting gold 200cc in Mario Kart 8. I think I have. If I didn't, there's like a silver in 1 or 2 of them. But I'm pretty sure I've beaten most of 200cc entirely.
Yeah, man.
One of the reasons why I wish they had a main campaign, but I guess if you call Grand Prix main campaign, there you go.
Yeah. So
actually, I don't think I spoke about it with you. What do you think about the DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Odyssey?
I've been wanting DLC. Well, personally, I don't own Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just because, honestly, I feel like Mario Kart is just one of those games that you play a lot with friends and stuff like that. I don't have much time to play with
unless you're me. Hashtag forever alone. Just time trials, baby.
No, but in all seriousness, I
play with my brother actually. So
you do?
Yeah.
Does he have a Nintendo Switch as well?
He had one actually. We both got a Switch at launch. He's not really that much of a gamer though. He got it and he got Breath of the Wild, and this is the most he had always throughout his life. He'd always try and play a Zelda game. He would never get past the first dungeon, and in Breath of the Wild he probably put in like 30-40 hours to the game. He beat at least 2 of the main dungeons, maybe 3. And then he kind of gave up after a few months and he never got back to it. And then it was one of my birthdays. He decided to turn in his Switch and he got me a PS4. So that was really nice of him. And I mean, he can play my Switch whenever he wants, but not really. So, but yeah, so he's not really a gamer, but he plays games sometimes. He recently got a PS4 actually. He plays Fortnite. So
I cannot get into Fortnite.
Well, I got into it. I got the season pass. I played for a couple of seasons. I'm pretty much done with it. Like occasionally, I'll play it with like a couple friends or something, or my brother or my cousin. You know, it's cool to like form a team and sort of like communicate with each other. But I'm past it already.
Yeah, I would like to see.
It's addicting. I'll tell you that.
I'm pretty sure, considering that it was the game that was selling, the people were downloading the most. Not on the Nintendo Switch necessarily, but overall. So, when it comes to DLC to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, yeah, I mean, it would be nice for those people who really want DLC for Mario Kart 8. I can tell you that I would love to have some DLC in Super Mario Odyssey.
I need some, yeah. I don't know if you know why I even brought it up. So last week before
hey, I saw your video.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, but basically, yeah, the president of Nintendo is saying they're going to be adding DLC to some of their main popular big Switch games, and the two biggest selling Nintendo Switch games are what? Super Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So.
Right.
I'm hoping we're going to get DLC for them. I was thinking they were going to add DLC a while ago, but they never did. But with that recent statement from the president, I have hope again. And I feel like
I've seen other videos of people like saying that Breath of the Wild, but I mean, they already stated that they're not going to make any DLC.
Yeah. No, I disagree with that. Yeah. I'm with you. I disagree with their point just because it's not impossible, but it's not likely because they said we're not going to add any more DLC for this. But they've been making free DLC updates for both Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and both of them are the best-selling games on the Nintendo Switch. From a business perspective, it makes sense. From a fun perspective, it makes sense. From a design perspective, it even makes sense, I think, because if you look at Mario Odyssey, the kingdom selection screen, there's space for more kingdoms, and within the context of the story, just flying to another area, that's easy to do. There's not too much to do with that. And on top of that, actually, what they could do to make it more interesting is that, I don't know if you remember when you played through Mario Odyssey, each kingdom had a bit of its own story, right? Like, as you progressed, there were elements that changed about the kingdom. So they could add one or two kingdoms, and each one could have kind of like its own individual story, where you progress and sort of fix up the kingdom, and that could kind of keep you interested instead of just saying, hey, just explore this random kingdom and get even more moons. They could add a little bit of story to each individual kingdom to make it more interesting and give you more incentive to see what's going on within that kingdom. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and
I think so too.
Please happen.
Now, let me ask you this. What would you like to see in Super Mario Odyssey as DLC? Like, what content would you like to see?
Isle Delfino, man.
Isle Delfino.
Originally, if you asked me like a few months ago, I would have said maybe a Luigi's Mansion one. But now that Luigi's Mansion 3 is on the way, I don't really feel this. I don't see the need for that. Besides that, I kind of that Lost Kingdom, the one with the Gothic like castle, but it's really small. It would have been really cool to see, like...
I call it the Dark Souls Kingdom.
The Dark Souls Kingdom, yeah. It would have been really cool to see a more expanded version of that. I don't think they'll do it, but, it just what I would like to see. I would like to see something like that, but bigger.
What about Bowsette as a boss or something?
No.
No?
No.
You just straightforward said, no, I don't want
that. Look, man, I'm just going to say right now, hey, I'm single. I love women, but I even love some of those cosplay models dressing up as Bowsette. Like it's pretty, but we have to put it into perspective. Bowsette is a dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I know. Like every single time I seen somebody like in whether it's on a Twitter post or something like that commenting, "Oh my God, I'm thinking, yo, this is Bowser,"
Yeah.
Looking, it looks like a girl, but at the end of the day, it's Bowser. Like, what?
But at the same time, though, for Super Mario Odyssey, I believe there was concept art that was a combination of Bowser and Peach. So Bowsette actually, coincidentally, this came out, but is a real character. So I wouldn't be opposed to it if Nintendo had maybe was like, hey, you know what? Let's make a nod to the fans and come out with our version of Bowsette. I guess. But at the same time, I'm gonna tell you, Bowsette would be kind of like a tingle for me. You know, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a weird character.
Well,
You know.
yeah, well, that's why I was saying, because Bowsette kind of existed, based on some of the art that we've seen from Super Mario Odyssey. But I wasn't, it's like you said, like I would think that Nintendo would make their own version and make it a boss or something.
But another random thing, actually, I think Vilbeer's talking about Yoshi being a girl and Birdo being a guy. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure it's changed depending on the situation and such, or the year. But for Birdo, there was this game that only came out in Japan during the Wii era. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it was like Captain Rainbow or something like that.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
No. And Birdo was in that game, and in that game at least, I think Birdo was confirmed as a transgender.
Yeah.
Which, considering the time, was a lot more weird then. So there's precedence for not like a what's the right term, like not gender neutral, but I guess gender ambiguous, right?
Yeah.
Gender ambiguous characters like that. So it's not impossible, but I don't really see it happening.
Well, some people like Chris in the comment section says that the Bowsette meme is annoying. Well, I think it was all right at first. I think it was cute at first, but yeah, it got to the point where it's just like, it's just too much. But hey, who knows? But originally, like, when it comes to like Super Mario Odyssey DLC, what I really wanted to see, because there's so many Donkey Kong references, is to have Donkey Kong as a boss of some sort. Or maybe
apparently, it's a game I haven't gotten a chance to play at Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
I have it, and I have not touched that game. It's crazy.
I hear it's a great game, and they added a whole bunch of like Donkey Kong content to it apparently too.
Yeah, and it's kind of like its own game, So, I love the way that Nintendo does DLC. Like when it comes to like Xenoblade. Now I have not played.
I did. It was really good.
Yeah,
that was actually the game I played before Dark Souls, Torn of the Golden Country. When I beat that, I picked up Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's right. We did discuss that.
Yeah, we did.
And I remember that you said that you cried at the end.
Did
I think maybe
I definitely cried at the end of some games, but I feel like I was a lot younger.
Well, let me just say
it was a tragic ending. That definitely was definitely sad. Oh no, yeah, no, I remember now. I don't think I cried, but I was sad, bro. Like I was sad. Like I was sad. It was tragic. It was tragic. Playing Torn of the Golden Country, you're playing a tragedy. Like, and I mean, you should know that going in though. The premise of Torn of the Golden Country is that you're playing in this kingdom that is destroyed. You're playing it in the past. You're playing in the past before the kingdom was destroyed, and you're finding out how it was destroyed. So you're gonna see death. Like you know it's coming. You're playing a tragedy, right?
Yeah.
But you still wanted to work out. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet, actually, right? Like Romeo and Juliet. If you watch the story, you read it, like maybe you get invested. You're like, oh, you want this to work out so badly, but it's a famous tragedy. You know how it ends. Everyone dies.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Eventually I'll go back and play Xenoblade. I just, but yeah, I heard that. And you're not the only one that I've heard that felt very sad at the end of that game. But yeah, man. Hey, dude. So we finally got YouTube on the Nintendo Switch. What do you think of that?
I think it looks good.
It looks very crisp. I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
Like,
it looks good. I watched like one of my own videos on it to see how it looked, right? And I think it looks good. At the same time, I'm not sure how much I'm going to use it. I think it's important to be on there because it keeps people on the system, right? And you keep people on the system, they play more games, they buy more games. It keeps the system more relevant, right? Like I've used my PS4 a lot more than my Switch this year, mainly because of the social media apps, right? Literally, my PS4 is on right now. I was watching Fairy Tale. It's just paused, right? Like, I'm not using my. I still have like my Switch next to me. Like, oh, like I'll play like Dark Souls like in between episodes or something when I'm just relaxing. And I'm probably gonna still do that because the thing about the Switch is that you can't suspend more than one app at a time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something that holds it back. Like that's a big problem because the thing is like I feel like for me, especially like if I'm gonna play a game, sometimes I want to suspend the game and then go and do something else. And you can only do one or the other on the Switch. So while having the app on there is good, it would be even better if Nintendo could find a way to keep one app suspended while using another. And it doesn't have to be two games. It could just be one game and a social media app like YouTube or something. And right now you can only use one or the other. So it's still kind of a problem because ultimately I think a lot of people are just going to end up using another device then, which kind of semi-defeats the purpose, you know what I mean, of keeping people on the system. But still, from what I've seen, it looks and runs great. And I mean, I don't have a normal tablet, right? I just have my computer and all my other game devices. So it's bigger than my phone. So if I want to watch a YouTube video and I'm in my room chilling or something, I guess I'll use my Switch instead if I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, I think it looks great. For some reason, I thought that well, you said that you use your PS4, right? To watch YouTube and other social media applications and all
like
that.
Netflix, Crunchyroll, VRV.
Yeah, well, I know PS4 is very good when it comes to that, but my TVs have Roku. You know.
Yeah. It gives you all of that.
Yeah, it has it integrated on it. And when I thought of the Nintendo Switch version of YouTube, I thought it was going to look like the Roku version of YouTube, which is not very good quality. And
no, it looks really well done.
But when I downloaded the app, I did the same thing that you did. I checked out.
Peter is watching us right now on his Switch.
Peter? Oh, there we go. Peter, my boy. My boy Peter, man. Do you have is Peter one of your followers?
Me? No, I don't think so.
No, Peter is one of my followers. I know that for a fact, but I was just kind of wondering because we sometimes YouTubers have subscribers that are the same. Peter, thank you for coming, my boy. Thank you so much. Don't get offended. I was just kind of wondering if you were also subscribed to my boy Andres Restart. If you're not, don't waste any time. Use that YouTube app on your Nintendo Switch and go and find his channel, my boy.
Or just do it on your phone because you're watching us and you can't.
Right. And that would be a view less right here in the live. Yeah. Andres is right, man. Andres, listen to him. No, I think YouTube. The app is great. I think it's a good job. But I also agree with with all the things that you're saying regarding to like individual apps being at function only at once. So yeah, I'm still happy that I can just
it's still good. I'm not trying to say it's not good. It's definitely still good, and it looks great. It does. I mean, it looks fantastic, man. It's almost like seeing it on your Switch makes it look better. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just that Nintendo magic or that fanboy bias I have, but
Peter says it's kind of but will now. Oh, thank you, Peter.
No, thank you, man. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just go and check them out, dude. Go and check them out. Listen, guys. I've said this like 1,000 times. You probably tired of me of hearing it from my mouth, right? But the truth is that we can't, as YouTubers, we can't grow without your support, right? And a lot of times it's just easier, for people like Andres and myself to like collab and get together, and grow together. So, like Peter, I know that you're one of my boys from Twitter. I follow you as well. You're awesome. Thank you so much for giving Andres another subscription. You know, he deserves it, man. This guy deserves to have like the same amount of subscribers I have on my other channel, like 10,000 something. So thank you so much, man. Yeah, man. So YouTube is amazing. Yo, Andres, let me ask you something real quick. Do you go like shopping on Black Friday?
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell
You never,
no, dude.
you
I mean,
never do that?
it's not because I don't want to get stuff. It's more because I don't want to live in hell. I don't like lines, bro. I hate lines. Hell, I mean, what? Just to spend more money? I'm good. I can
But I
order
mean,
something online. I could buy something at some other time. I mean, the deals are usually not really worth it to me. I mean, maybe this year I'll think about it. Maybe Cyber Monday, ordering a good micro SD card for my Switch, but that's not Black Friday, man. It's yeah. I don't. I'm not. I'm not really. I'm not. I don't want to get in there. That's gonna be
well,
messy.
I'm gonna get in there, man, because there's a lot of games that are going to be on sale, dude. And now I don't know how many. I don't know which of these games you guys have. You have. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna tell you guys that there's gonna be some really great Black Friday deals on Best Buy. I mean, when it comes to like Switch games,
Well,
you're
I mean, if
gonna
I could get Starlink for like 40 bucks, I would think about it. If there's like
well,
a big deal, maybe I would.
well, check this out. When it comes to there's a selection of Switch games that are $20. Those games include
Oh, maybe. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go.
yeah. So some of those games include Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Kirby Star Allies,
Okay.
Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition, Bayonetta 2, Namco Museum Arcade Pack, Wheel of Fortune. Nobody cares about that.
That's actually the one I want to get. No, just kidding.
Valkyria Chronicles 4 for $20. Okay, the launch edition. Sports Party, Lego DC Super Villains Deluxe Edition, Super Bomberman R, Payday 2, Haunting Simulator, and Scribblenauts Mega Pack. Now there's another section that's gonna be $34.99, and that includes Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, Sushi Striker, which in my opinion is a very, very underrated game, but Fire Emblem Warriors. There's another section that's gonna be cost of games that are gonna cost $29.99, and that includes, guys, Dragon Ball Fighters is a game that's gonna be only for $30 on Black Friday on Best Buy.
That's interesting because I have Fighters on PS4, but I have the DLC though. It's not even worth it for me to get it on Switch.
Got you, man. Yeah, I got it on my Switch, man. I love that game. I really love that game. Overcooked 2
Really
is
good.
going to be $30, and Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker for 3DS. Now there's a bunch of other games that are gonna be at a very good price. I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Like the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is gonna be only $25. Same thing with Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2 and Mega Man X and Mega Man Collection 1 and 2. Mario Plus Rabbids. Do you have that, Andres? Did you say you said you never played it, but
Yeah, how much? How much?
$20.
We're getting Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, boys.
Only on Best Buy, my guy. Only
Yeah.
on Best Buy.
Also,
And
just a heads up, man. It looks like Brandon broke your like button. You slammed it.
oh, really?
You slammed it.
He
Yeah.
slammed.
Yeah.
Man, Brandon, man. You know, one time we're gonna make another podcast at some point, and you and Brandon should come here, man. Because I really, really like Brandon too.
He's
man.
my guy, man. He's my guy.
Bro, like Brandon, I love his honesty. Like when after we're done with the podcast, I just tell Brandon, what's your opinion on this topic? I just don't feel like talking about it. Man, you gotta love this guy, man. He's awesome. I really love Brandon. Man. He's an awesome guy, man. By the way, where did you guys just meet up on YouTube like that, or how did it happen?
Tinder. Just
Oh,
kidding.
crap.
Actually,
Oh, crap.
Sean from Monolith, was it? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Actually, I think it was Sean from Monolith Gaming. I think so. The thing is, me and Sean were technically my first YouTube friend. I saw him on IGN at one point trying to find people for a Smash tournament, and he was just starting on YouTube, and so was I. And that's how I met Sean. And then I don't know, we kind of worked together for a while, and then Sean just is really good at finding other YouTubers. And I think at one point he's like, "Hey, you should bring him onto the podcast," and then brought him on, and Brandon and I got we got along really well.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely. Those of you who have subscribed to Andres Restart, he has a weekly podcast on Monday. So you guys should definitely check it out. I'm in that podcast sometimes, although this past week, Shifty was there, which honestly I thought it was a very good podcast. There were a lot of great things about it. The discussions were great, and man, it's just awesome. It's just really awesome stuff. But when it comes to the Cabana podcast, we're actually coming to an end right now. It's 7:27. Remember, guys, this podcast only lasts but only 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I really want to thank all of you guys for coming in here. We definitely had a really good crowd today compared to like my previous episode. A lot of them came from Andres Restart, and I really appreciate you guys for coming in. If you guys have not subscribed to Nerd Cabana, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to make more content to the channel, more Nintendo content, since this is more of a Nintendo channel. Unfortunately, life has really gotten in the way this week, so I may not have anything ready for you guys, but definitely next week, look forward for next week. Those of you guys, my guys that are always checking me out, that I see some of you right there, like Peter and Cloudy Mind Gaming, although I saw you in one of Andre's Restart podcasts, Cloudy Mind. Go ahead and subscribe to my guy. Like as I said it like 3 times, and you know what, guys? You know what? I don't care. Go ahead and check this guy out. All right. You have any final thoughts? Anything that you want to talk about, Andres?
I feel like we should talk about one more thing. I was thinking about what it should be. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Okay, I mean, bring it on, man. Go ahead, throw it out there.
Well, okay, so yeah, I guess we could kind of talk. We kind of talked about it. I kind of talked about it on Monday, but I feel like now it's a little bit more updated because today's Thursday, and there were a lot of rumors for a Nintendo Direct today. Obviously, it didn't happen, right?
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you still think there's going to be, for the record, some of the sources that people are like sort of hardcore believing weren't 100% sure if it would be this week, but there is basically.
I don't mind to. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, but my guy Mike, he's asking about your Twitter. What's your Twitter? Bandana Charmander? Is that what it is? If
you search at Andres Restart, you'll find my Twitter. But the name is Bandana Charmander. My co-host, he's on some of my videos as well. He's a cardboard cutout of Charmander, and he sometimes talks. Yeah, if you can't find me on Twitter just by going at Andres Restart, if you go on my YouTube, on all my videos, there's links to everything, including Twitter. So,
I think Brandon is gonna share the link right there.
There's my guy right there.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thank you, Brandon. Thank you for doing that, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you said, right? Here's a link to Andres' Twitter, so I assume you're gonna post it. Anyways, yeah, Peter, go ahead and check him out. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And by the way, Peter, just next time you're gonna come here and you're gonna check out the podcast, please bring your buddy, Sick Dog. Okay, I haven't seen him in a while. I really have not seen him in a while. So grab him by the ear and just bring him over here to the podcast, because sometimes he does come, but sometimes he just doesn't. And I know that he's eating some tacos out there. I know, because that's what he loves. All right. But hey, oh, there he is. Oh, my boy, Sick Dog. Angel, what's up, my boy? I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you and how Peter should drag you by your ear.
You should summon him. You summoned him with your good wishes.
Yeah, Peter just summoned you, boy. What where were you at, man? Come on, man. We are actually ending this podcast almost right now, but we are not gonna do that until I answer Andreas's question about the podcast, about the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah,
happening.
Do you think it's happening?
Yeah.
When though? When is it gonna happen? Because Pokemon Let's Go comes out next week, right? So I feel like it's not good next week, and then the week after is Black Friday. I guess it could happen the last week of November, and actually that would be a good amount of time between the Smash Direct and that. Yeah, there would be like a few weeks after this recent Direct that just happened last week. And I don't know. Do you think they would say anything else about Smash Bros. Since it'll be coming out? They could maybe announce a Smash test. Actually, they could do that. They could announce a Smash. If let's assume that there's a Direct at the end, right? Maybe they could have a Smash test. What do you think about that?
I think that could be it. But I don't think it's gonna be as. I don't think there's anything that's. Now, this is just my opinion, right? I don't think it's going to be anything related to Smash. But
I don't think there'd be anything besides the Smash test. Because I think they've already given us the final Smash Direct. So, I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying if it would be anything, it would be that, because it'd be a week before Smash comes out.
Yeah, it would definitely be a good time for that.
I think the DLC we talked about could maybe be announced then.
Yeah. I think we're gonna I think I stated this before. Yeah, I stated this in your podcast before. I think we're just gonna get another Direct, and I think that we're gonna get, because we're getting closer to December and all that. We may get some games earlier than we think for next year. Like, I think one of those games, for example, is going to be Daemon X Machina. We may get that pretty early in the next year.
That's going to be coming out around Valentine's Day.
I actually, that's what I think. I think it's going to be coming out in February or something like that.
Yep. Fire Emblem might be April or March. They might announce that too.
Yep. That's what yeah, you and I are synchronizing. I actually think that as well. So I think a lot of what we're going to see probably, maybe, it's just some release dates. In this
Mario Odyssey DLC we were talking about.
Oh yeah, please, Nintendo, please do that. I would really appreciate you for that. But yeah, I think there's gonna be another Direct. I mean, guys, let me just say this. Wait, hold on. Let me just say this. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. All right, I'm not gonna go Super Metal Dave on you guys. All right, I'm just saying that it may happen. This is just me theorizing, okay? I'm just theorizing. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that I believe it's going to happen.
There's also the N64 Classic that's supposed to be announced at any point. That might be announced during the Direct too.
I got some insight on that, and we may not hear something until next year. That's what I've heard. Okay. Again, this is not me confirming anything.
Okay.
I heard
if you're right.
Come next year.
I'm gonna see the Direct. I'm gonna be like, damn, still no N64 Classic. What the hell?
Yeah, don't come to my channel and complain, all right? All right. No, but in all honesty, I have heard that we are good. If you give me a moment, I can tell you what I've heard. Okay, I'm not going to name any person or anything like that. I'm just gonna say what I've been told. Okay. I was told when it comes to the Nintendo 64. Okay. The best I can tell, this is just the message I received, right? The best I can tell you is that it's coming. And then this person said, I can tell you that they have everything decided for the system. There was a licensing issue from my understanding. Otherwise,
it has Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. There's otherwise we'd known about it. Otherwise we'd already known about it, and it would be out. The time the time frame of releases, take your best guess. I can tell you it's gonna be next year, but I'm not gonna reveal when. Okay. I think
it would be based off of that. It's making me feel before the end of the fiscal year. So before March, or before, it could be even in March, but like right before the end, the end of the fiscal year, which is in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we could definitely hear that around that time. When you think about it, it's just so hard. Do you think that maybe
let me tell you this. So I believe the N64 Classic is going to come, and it's going to have at least Banjo-Kazooie on it. And I think it's a deal that also encompasses having Banjo-Kazooie in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for DLC. I think we're going to get a Square Enix rep shared to us at the Video Game Awards, because that's what someone who's been saying everything has gone right, saying that, so I'm going to believe that. And I think right around February time, we're going to get an announcement for another DLC character, and that's going to be around the same time the N64 Classic comes out, and we're going to learn about Banjo-Kazooie then in Smash Ultimate. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean that's why I like
beautiful story.
Oh man, you're pretty analytical about it. Yep.
It's speculation though. So when I'm wrong, because he's going to be at the Game Awards instead.
Yeah.
Either or. Fine.
Yeah, man. But regarding I already stated it, but I do think we're gonna get another direct. I mean, we'll see. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, that's fine. I mean, I'm just not predicting anything. I'm just saying, I think we're gonna get some. So I'm not one of those guys on YouTube saying, "Hey, I'm not one of those guys on YouTube." But
to be straight with you, I saw him tweet about complaining about how people are talking about Zelda now, because we got an update that the Zelda team is hiring for dungeon designers. And I found that to be hypocritical, because he also was talking about Dark Souls when the game was coming out, saying that for these reasons it's not a real port, when we've known about all those reasons for months already. So it was kind of a hypocritical thing. I don't know if you realize that. I don't want to attack him, but I think I'm kind of the same wavelength with you. It just no.
I didn't notice that, because I just didn't remember that. I wasn't putting everything together.
I'm just saying, he's complaining about something that he himself has done.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I mean, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't know that all that information about Dark Souls was already readily available. So then, but it was a little annoying to me.
That's why I don't take him serious. Like, me and him have messaged before, and I
have at least have a lot of respect for him. Actually, I've gotten advice from him before. It led to my first video that got 1,000 views.
Let me just say this.
Second one, actually.
Let me just say this. I don't hate him. I mean, he may think that I do hate him, but I don't hate him as a human being. I think Super Metal Dave 64 is a great human being. I really do think so. I really do think he's a good guy.
I also think Tingle's a really good guy.
Tingle? Tingle?
But I don't want to be his friend.
I know where you're coming from. But listen, I think that he's a great guy, but the problem is that I just don't know how to put it. I just think that sometimes he just says some weird things. You know, I remember I called him out on a video he made about God of War. Well, I'm making this video because God of War, I don't think it'll run on the Switch. And this is why. I was like, do you even have to make a video about that? Like, really? We know God of War can't run on the Switch. You know, then he made other videos just pretty much talking about how the Nintendo Switch has not. Now, this was a couple months back. Him saying the Nintendo Switch had not won an NPD, which means that it's not successful. It's not successful enough, or it's not, it's just not selling well. And I said, since when are you the person that determines what's selling good and what's not selling good? Are you the head of Nintendo by any chance? Are you the one who considers what sales are good and not good? Plus, you have to consider that this year is probably the best year that Sony has had in a while.
This is Sony's peak.
Yeah. So, of course, you got awesome exclusives like God of War.
If you hold Nintendo to a high standard, I mean, the fact remains that, this is a down year for Nintendo.
Yeah.
But we were coming off the best Nintendo year, arguably in history, right? 2017, right? Yeah. And that's just Nintendo year, gaming year, period, right? And 2019 is looking very promising. Like, it can't always be good and bad, but I'm not necessarily against him when he talks about the NPD reports and holding Nintendo to a high standard. What I do kind of have a problem with is just that as a Nintendo fan, he's making videos for Nintendo fans, right?
Right.
But if you look at all of his videos, he puts gameplay in all of his videos, right? How often are those games actually available on the Nintendo system?
Yeah.
And most of the videos are ending on a somber or somewhat negative note about Nintendo. Most of them. Over 90%, right?
Yeah.
Let's say over 80. If I were to actually go back and calculate, or let's say it's at least over 80. So as a Nintendo fan, whenever I see his videos, I'm thinking, and this is not me critiquing him. This is me telling my perspective. I'm not watching a lot of his videos anymore because I'm not excited to watch what he has to say. Because one, it's not going to be about Nintendo or in any positive light. And it's just like, he's kind of like appealing to Nintendo fans without actually being a Nintendo fan. Like, that's how it feels. And I'm not saying to be a biased, blind fanboy. No, be straight. I appreciate facts, right? But it's always negative.
Yeah. He's not much of an enthusiast.
Yeah.
At this point,
he's a tech enthusiast.
Yeah, he's a tech. More of a tech enthusiast.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I said, me and him have shared tweets in the past, and I have nothing wrong to say about his personality. He's a great person. He's a great guy. But some of the things he put out there, it's just garbage, man. There was another thing he said was, I remember, we all of us who own a Nintendo Switch know this. Nintendo from the beginning said that they were going to charge about Nintendo Online. Now, they had not revealed how Nintendo Online was going to work at this time. I just remember that at the beginning of this year, he made a tweet saying, "Oh, I can't believe that Nintendo is actually going to charge for games like Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, and other Nintendo Online games that have been for free for a whole year." I was like, Nintendo said they would charge.
That was the deal from the beginning.
That was the deal from the beginning. Why are you complaining about this? Like, what are you trying? Are you just trying to get more people? Like, are you going to?
I think it is. I think there is a play on negativity to get more views.
But that's the thing. It's like
but the thing is, YouTube kind of encourages that. It's YouTube encourages like drama. Drama sells.
It does.
So I'm not saying he does it intentionally. I think a lot of people end up doing it subconsciously. Like as you're always making videos, thinking about what the next video idea could be, you start slowly starting gearing towards your videos, towards ideas that you think people will be like, oh, let's talk about. So like I'm not even saying he's doing it intentionally, but I see what you're saying. I'm just kind of like trying to break it down a little bit. I think there's, if it was subconscious or not, him and also Nintendo Prime, I've noticed, tend to play into the drama.
Nintendo Prime was the one who brought in the topic regarding Dark Souls remaster on the Nintendo Switch not being a real remaster. He's the one who started it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Metal Dave grabbed himself out of that idea and then made his own video.
I wonder if it's because like YouTube is so competitive that they're just trying to find an edge, And the thing is that from Super Metal Dave, I get the impression that he doesn't really want to do YouTube, right? But I at the same time, it seems contradictory because he still makes videos. I don't know. It's weird, but I think that they both play to the drama.
I know that I know this for a fact. If I would have been Super Metal Dave, just telling people to stay up and watch that that PlayStation event that was going on last year, very late at night, because there was something that was going to happen.
It's still
that, dude, I would have just left the internet. I would have not come back. Because let me tell you, man, that was embarrassing, and he made my
I wish I knew the story on that. Did he ever explain it?
He made a video apology afterwards, but he was pretty much attacking every single person.
I remember that. It didn't feel like an apology, and it was not an explanation.
Yeah, and then he did make another another video. I'm sorry, just saying apologizing properly. He did. So. I have to say
just personally, with an apology, if you don't really explain it, is it really an apology? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, he released a video explaining it. Like, oh well, no, wait, hold on. He didn't explain it. No, he just said he just apologized. So I don't know, man. It was just.
I understand that sometimes when you're talking about information that's with sources, sometimes there are some things you just can't say, right? So maybe that's why he doesn't explain it. But I wish he would at least say, "Hey, look, I had a source and it was wrong." But I don't even remember if he said that.
He told me on a message, and I'll say like, "Well, don't you want to let people know instead?" Because the thing is, it's like here I am thinking that you are the one making all these things up because you're hearing. From, I don't know.
So he told you personally that he had an inside source that was wrong?
Yeah, he just pretty much told me, listen, what I'm saying, whatever I say on there, because honestly, there's been a lot of times, whether he likes it or not, okay? There's been times that he's lied, and I call him out on a lie. And as a matter of fact, you remember when I said that there were people arguing about Super Smash Brothers Ultimate being a port? He was the first one. I'm not going to say that he started the trend, but he was one of the first guys that came, and he was on E3. That's the crazy thing. He was at E3, and he was one of the first people I saw on Twitter saying, yep, this is a port. And then I believe when Sakurai said, oh, this is not a port, I made this from scratch, I linked, I don't know what it was, but I know that I told him, so is it?
I believe Bill Trinan literally said this game was developed ground up.
Yeah,
I remember giving people a link to Bill Trent saying that, and people would say, "Oh no, he's just PR. It's just PR talk." Like, you know,
exactly. So,
at what point it's just one of those things that, like, at what point people kind of believe what they want. But so even Super Metal Dave thought it was a port. I feel like if you thought the game was port after seeing footage of it, I feel like it says a lot about your knowledge of, visual fidelity in games.
The crazy thing is that he was at E3. He was at E3. So he was seeing this game like when they let him in the show floor. He kept saying these things, and then I remember I tweeted at him and I said, "So is it really a port?" When it was confirmed that it wasn't a port, that it was just built from the ground up, and he just deleted his tweet. He deleted it.
Probably realized he was wrong.
Yeah, and I remember that, afterwards, a couple months afterwards, that actually not long ago, there's this guy in Super Metal Dave's comment section, when every time he does a tweet, that is always kissing his ass. Always. Okay. So I was having a back and forth with that guy. And there was a point that I called Dave a liar. Dave got bothered by that, and he contacted me through message, and he said, "Don't say that. Don't say that. That's insulting." And I said, "Okay, well, if that's insulting to you, I'm going to stop. That's not a problem. But there's been times, for a fact, that you have lied, bro. And you can't say that you haven't. Oh, just because my sources are wrong, that doesn't mean that I've lied." That's what he said. And I said, well, if your sources are wrong, then just say that your sources are wrong. Because here I am and everybody else, because you know very well that in your channel, your comment section is literally a battlefield. So everybody's just thinking that you are getting this information is just coming from you. People don't know that you have sources. That's the problem. Okay, so make it clear so people don't get as pissed as you. But I mean, he's still out there just putting crazy stuff and weird things, and I'm just like, this guy just doesn't learn.
Yeah.
And I told him, listen, I'm not going to call you a liar because, listen, I'm a pretty fair guy. If you feel disrespected over that, that's totally fine. I'm not going to disrespect you anymore. Don't expect me not to call you out, though, because I'm going to keep doing it. And he was like, whoa, I expect you to do it. I was like, all right.
Well, he hasn't blocked you.
No, he hasn't. And I respect him for that, though. Believe it or not, I respect him for that. Because if it would have been somebody else, they would have blocked me a long time.
Yeah, I don't really believe in blocking people unless it's like harassment. Yeah. Like, I don't think I have anyone blocked. Like, there are people who have blocked me when they were the ones who were mean to me. But, like, I don't know. Actually, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't see the need of it. I mean, I guess that's the way I was raised, though. I'm confrontational. So, like, if you have a problem with me, I'll either address it, or if you're like someone who's like delusional, then I'll just ignore you, right? Like, it's just one or the other. But I don't know. That maybe he's also like that. Like, even though he disagrees with you strongly and he thinks that you're kind of just being an ass, from his perspective, I'm not saying you're an ass. I just want to make that clear, right? From his,
I get what you're saying.
And then, but because of the way he is, he's not gonna block you because that's just not how he is. But I've just noticed a lot of people block. Just crazy.
Yeah. I want to get to let me get to the comment section real quick. And we've been almost for 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, Peter has an interesting question.
Yeah. There's an interesting question right here by my boy Peter. What's your thoughts on the Resident Evil port? Do you think they're bringing something new on the Nintendo Switch? That's a very interesting question because I spoke about that on one of my previous podcasts. But I'll answer it right here.
The remake, right?
Huh?
He's talking about the remake. Is it the Resident Evil 2 remake?
Sure. I think he's talking about. Well, he says, "What's your thoughts on the Resident Evil port? Do you think they're bringing something new for the Nintendo Switch?" So, from what I can get out of that question, he's probably asking about the Resident Evil ports we're gonna get, like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil.
Oh,
yeah. If that's a hint that we're gonna get probably future games. And I said on my he just stated it. Resident Evil 4. I think it will. And the reason why I think it will is just because in the past Nintendo and Capcom has spoke about that. Well, actually, even before the Nintendo Switch release, we had information that Capcom and Nintendo had, where Capcom was one of the developers that kind of helped Nintendo when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, ability to be able to play games like Resident Evil. If I'm not mistaken, there was at some point, there was one time that Capcom told them to include more RAM. I'm not very technical.
Capcom. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just switch up 4 gigabytes instead of 3 because of Capcom.
Yeah. In order to be able to run Resident Evil games. Now, I assume that we're talking about games like Resident Evil 7, for example, because the Nintendo Switch, of course,
they only have the cloud version, so.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, they were probably talking about this just to release future Resident Evil games, not just Resident Evil ports. Because, I mean, come on. The Nintendo Switch can run Resident Evil 4 and the Resident Evil remake and the Resident Evil 0. So why would Capcom just talk to Nintendo and tell them, yeah, just make your Nintendo Switch more powerful just so we can make Resident Evil games, So I do think that this is an indication that we may get some more Resident Evil games in the future.
It's basically what Square Enix is doing too. We're getting a slew of Final Fantasy ports as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're getting a slew of Resident Evil ports. We're getting a slew of Final Fantasy ports. So does that mean from either side that we're going to get a modern Final Fantasy or modern Resident Evil? Well, we're getting the Pocket Edition for Final Fantasy 15, and we got the Cloud Edition for Resident Evil 7, which are not the ideal versions for either game. So will we eventually get the ideal versions for either game? I don't know, but I do think moving forward we will get a version of the next installment. I think part of the problem is the whole where the game was in terms of developing it for Switch. But now the Switch is so big and popular, I think now when they make new projects, they will have Switch in mind going forward. So I don't think they're going to make a ground up new Resident Evil game just for Switch.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It'll be a game that's made to run on Switch and the other systems, just the same way that Doom is being handled now. So
you don't think so? Basically, you don't think they're gonna make like an exclusive. You remember how Resident Evil 4 was like GameCube exclusive back then? You don't think you're gonna see? So do you think
that was a timed exclusive? It came out on PS2.
That's right. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
A few months later. I don't think it's going to be like how on the Wii was so underpowered that we didn't get the normal Resident Evil games, but instead we got these light gun games instead. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just basically going to be, we're going to get the same Resident Evil games. They're just going to be changed up to run on the Switch.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's what we're going to get.
But Resident Evil 7, I don't know if we'll ever get that, aside from the cloud version. But moving forward, whatever we get, I think it'll come to Switch.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we should cut it at that. It's actually 2 hours of podcast. We had exceeded the time limit of the podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for coming here to the Cabana Podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andres, for coming in here and being a special guest in here. And as I said, check us out. If you're new to Nerdy Cabana, just go ahead and smash that subscribe button, in order for you to check out more content that I provide here through this channel. As I said, like the fourth time, check out Andres Restart. The link is in the description below. Check him out. And another, you know what, guys? Brandon, what about Nintendo? If you're seeing him in the comment section, check him out as well. He's usually at the Andres Restart podcast every Monday. He's a very cool guy, very honest guy, hilarious guy. So go ahead and check him out. I think he's just hilarious because he's just so honest. So go ahead and check him out too, man. Everybody, check each other out. Check each other out. All right. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for coming in here. Thank you so much. And this is Ray Cabana and Andres Restart wishing you a blessed one.
See ya.